So welcome to episode 3 of FFD Firehouse Factoids. I'm sure most of you are getting prepared for the Thanksgiving holiday. Hopefully you've enjoyed our previous 2 installments of this video series. You've been filling out the surveys, a lot of really great feedback there, and we're super appreciative of the time you've spent kind of helping guide the future direction of our organization. Specifically today, we wanted to take some time to focus on response times and 90th percentiles, why we report times at a 90th percentile instead of an average, okay? When you say 90th percentile, you look around a room in emergency services, this is typically what you see. Okay, it's not really as complicated as it sounds, very simple, and I want to keep today very simple. I don't want to get real complex. We won't get deep into means, medians. We will talk a little bit about the averages and just kind of stay with me as I take you on this short roller coaster ride of response times. Okay? So what you see here is our level 1 medical responses for 2016. So those responses where at least one squad, one engine, or one truck responded. All of these times that you see here are sorted from lowest to highest or fastest to slowest. You can see here all of those times. So to be exact, there's 17,168 rows of data here. And once we sort that, very specifically, we start really dialing into it. Now, you won't see anything here for ERF travel or ERF total response time. Remember that ERF stands for effective response force. In these situations, this was a single unit response, so these call types didn't warrant additional units, so that's why those columns are blank. Now for a moment I want you to X this out completely. Don't even look at 90th percentiles, and let's move here to averages. For the sake of the video and the sake of time, I've already done some calculations here for you. And on these averages, basically what happens here is we show performance a little better than 50 to 60% of the time, okay? So that's really what an average tells you depending on that data set. I know that's really arguable because the important thing there is the data set, but quite simply that average is showing performance a little better than half the time overall. Okay, so don't focus on the blocks that are in white. That's actually a decimal time. We've converted that decimal time to hours, minutes, and seconds. Let's stay focused on what's in yellow. Now here you can see if we were painting a picture to the public on our first unit travel time, so that time you check en route until you arrive on scene, we'd say, well, that time's 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Well, that's a really good first unit travel time, but we can only achieve that time 54% of the time. So out of 100 responses to your home, we can achieve that 3 minutes and 38 seconds 54 times out of that 100, or let's say 5.4 times out of 10. Same thing here for first unit turnout time. You can see our first unit turnout time was 58 seconds. We say we can turn out that first unit within 58 seconds 59 times out of 100, 5.9 times out of 10. Now if we switch gears here to the left and look at 90th percentiles, although the times do look worse, you can see here the average times are better. What we're painting a picture of performance at is 90% of the time, okay? So if we had 100 incidents listed here, we're saying 90 times out of 100 we will get to your emergency location from the moment we check en route until we arrive on scene within 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Now, I would put a lot more confidence in this number than I would this number, because remember here, we're only showing that performance at a little better than 50% of the time, where here we say, okay, 90 times out of 100 or 9 times out of 10, we can get to your emergency within this time. So just a little bit on 90th percentiles. I didn't get really deep there on it. I just want to keep it really basic. That 90th percentile time does have some outliers. So everything that it kind of is beyond that 90th percentile is what we call an outlier, where your averages take into consideration every piece of the data set all the way down. Okay, so if you were a customer here, and some of you are not just employees, but you're citizens here within Fayetteville, and we were painting a picture of performance to you, I'm sure you would more accurately want to know how well we perform 9 times out of 10 in lieu of 5 times out of 10. Okay, so that's why we use the 90th percentiles instead of averages. Related much like test scores for any of you that have children, whenever you see your ranking sheets, you would much rather your child, I assume here, score in the 90th percentile over the 50th percentile, right? So don't get too focused in on it whenever we paint these pictures, although the average time in this particular situation did look better when we paint this picture of performance to the public. It more accurately depicts what we do each and every day. And we thank you for your hard work in regards to data entry. No quote this week at all. I just leave you with this. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. From P&R and Fayetteville Fire and Emergency Management, we thank you every day for what you do to make us look great.